shillings, quality measuring machines for gold worth 80 million and 305 million shillings be confiscated. The government has found out that some youth have now developed a new method of using rat poison and sleeping pills as an alternative to using recreational drugs. This comes after the government has taken tougher measures to get to grips with the business of bringing recreational drugs into the country. Speaking with youth scouts in Kilimanjaro region, the Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office for Policy, House, Labour, Employment and People with Disabilities, Janista Mhagama, said that a huge percentage of youth are currently using chemicals as a way of getting high.
There is a big problem of youths using drugs, and the youths are the most affected. We must use 2019 to fight drug use. We've managed to control drug trafficking into the country by 90%. What the youths are doing now is to use clinical drugs such as sleeping tablets and rat poison. We're putting our lives at risk as youths, but also endangering the health of our nation. We must address this effectively so our youths can stop abusing drugs.
Kuna changamoto kubwa sana kwa vijana siku hizi kwa ajili ya kujihusisha na madawa ya kulevya.
One big challenge the youth face is on use of illegal drugs, and one of our programs as scouts is to fight drug use. We've worked with the government to identify drug dealers, but the challenge we are facing is those dealing in drugs have found alternative substances such as rat poison and petrol. So as scouts, we are training them on the effects of using drugs.
Kwa hiyo ndio changamoto tulio nayo kubwa sana.
The mayor of Mtwara Mkindani Municipal is also the councillor of Tandika Ward through the Civic United Front Party. CUF Geoffrey Wanchishe, as well as the councillor of Chikongola Ward through the party, Musa Ismail Mpemba, have left the party and joined CCM.
Na baada ya kujiuzuru nikaingia kwenye Chama cha Mapinduzi, kwa sasa mimi ni mwanachama wa Chama cha Mapinduzi.
After resigning, I joined CCM party and now I'm a member of CCM party. I came to meet with the party leadership and asked them to allow me to join CCM. And the leadership agreed. Today I've officially joined the party so as to support the efforts done by Honorable President to bring development to Tanzania. I ask my fellow youths to join CCM party so we can work together to bring development to our country.
Chama cha Mapinduzi ili kuleta maendeleo katika nchi yetu.
Wala hakuna ambaye amenipa chochote kwa maana ya fedha au ahadi yoyote.
No one has given me money or made any promises. After seeing what was going on in CCM party and the good work done by CCM party chair, meaning Honorable President, who is doing an excellent job, this convinced me to join him in fighting for Tanzania so that Tanzania can be developed.
Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan has directed member countries of the East African community to invest in the right technology so as to help find answers and resolutions to challenges and problems in the health sector with the aim of helping the community. When opening the 7th International East African Meeting on Health and Science, the Vice President said that East African countries must invest in the use of modern technology in the health sector so as to reach the UN Development Goals in the fight against poverty.
The need to invest in digital health technology cannot be understated if we are to fully implement the Sustainable Development Goals and address all aspects of poverty. We can no longer ignore the direct correlation of poverty and social vulnerability in aggravating poor health. Therefore, in order to address these vulnerabilities, we need to invest in digital health or digital health technology as a way of strengthening regional healthcare services.
The EEC has a significant role if we are to achieve these goals of a more prosperous, equitable, and sustainable world. And the East African Health Science Conference is instrumental to generate the needed evidence. However, research findings are only useful if they are translated into policies and practices that can be implemented at the community level.
This event takes place at a time when the East African region, and indeed Africa, needs a rapid technological transformation, especially in digital technologies, to support the implementation of health sector interventions and programs so as to accelerate the attainment of universal health coverage towards achieving the Sustained Development Goals 3 in general. It is indeed a critical moment as we witness great transformation in digital technologies in our country and the entire world.
34% of children under the age of 5 in Tanzania have malnutrition, which has led the World Food Programme to start an Improve Nutrition project in Dodoma at Bahi and Chamwino districts, as well as in Singida region at Ikungi and Singida Rural. The project is being sponsored by the European Union and is aimed at improving the state of nutrition as well as to increase knowledge on accurate food use.
Trying to make communities more aware of what are the types of foods they should consume, and also how to manage those foods, and importance also on water and sanitation. We would very much like to be able to expand. We would very much like some of the models that we are offering to be adopted by the government going forward. At the moment, our big challenge is funding. We don't have yet the necessary funding to expand the project or even complete the project over the course of the next 5 years. We're actively trying to identify new funding sources, and we will be reaching out to development partners over the coming weeks and months to ensure that first and foremost we're able to maintain the project at its current level and then see how we can expand it further.
The only way that we're going to achieve impact in the lives of individuals is by having an integrated approach, is by keeping women and girls at the center and including behavior change messages. And there was some fantastic, innovative means of communicating the important activities that you can do, whether it be diet diversity, breastfeeding, hand washing. There was also a women's group around microfinance.
The government has been asked to finish constructing a boys' dormitory at Wino Secondary School, which is located in Madaba, Ruvuma region. The request has been made in order to save the current dormitory that was built by the school and which disintegrated as a result of the rains.
Imejengwa ina umbali mkubwa wa watoto.
Students live very far, and I wonder where will they board. The hostel that is under construction has been over 2 years now. With the rains going on, it is possible that the structure could be damaged. This is a big challenge. The place where we sleep is not good and could affect our performance. The place used to be a coffee warehouse.
The Minister of Mining, Dr. Biteko, has directed the new board of the Geological Survey of Tanzania, GST, to work together with experts in order to explore various areas to see whether they are fit for mining or not. Minister Biteko said that the aim of this exploration is to help small-scale, medium-scale and large-scale miners to get opportunities to engage in mining and consequently increase the national revenue. Minister Biteko made those comments in Dar es Salaam while he was launching the board of the Geological Survey of Tanzania.
In mining, a sector where a lot of money is spent on research and the duty of rating the research done as being valid or not is not for anyone in the government, but is for the relevant authority. So you must ensure that small-scale miners, middle-scale miners, and large-scale miners, when carrying out research and come to you, ask that you get us the right information. The organ with the mandate to store research findings is no other but GST. The implementation of Mining Law Amendment of 2010 requires GST to gather, evaluate, and keep all research findings.
Sheria hii imetengenezwa mwenye mandate ya kutunza takwimu au taarifa za utafiti sio mtu mwingine, ni GST.
In order to meet objectives set, it is important for GST to be enabled through your ministry, so we can increase efficiency and speed in carrying out its duties, such as on research.
The police force in Namtumbo District, Ruvuma region, has caught a total of 11 leaders of Mjini Cooperative Union in Likusanguse village in the district for allegations of disrupting weight and stealing 10 tons of cashew nuts worth 33 million shillings from farmers.
I would like to admit that as one of the AMCOS leaders that I took part in the theft of farmers' funds. I would like to reveal too that one of the ways in which we did this was by lying about the exact weight of crops which were being placed on our weighing scales. I would like to say that the country's laws do not allow me to intervene in the internal affairs of cooperative societies. However, despite that, I must say that as the district commissioner, all agencies and associations fall under my authority. So I would like to make one thing very clear. This is that as the district commissioner, I will not just stand by and allow various offenses, such as embezzlement, to go on within cooperative.
And that is all for national news. International news is next. News. 15 people have died and 27 others have been severely injured after being involved in an accident that took place earlier today on the main Nairobi-Mombasa road in Matu area, which is 106 kilometers from Nairobi city.
I want to tell you this morning we had a very bad accident that involving a bus from Garissa heading to Nairobi. And then here in Matu town, it happened that there was a lorry, stationary lorry, which was standing beside the road. Then it happened that this lorry came, this bus came, rammed into the bus, to the lorry. And then we had people who were fatally injured. There were 14 of them died on the spot. And we had 27 of them who had very serious accidents, injuries I mean, and we have taken them to Matu, here is it, level 4 hospital.
Over 600 prisoners have been set free due to a pardon given by President Tshisekedi to those who did not have criminal offenses in the DRC.
7 people, those who with good luck, will be set free today. I am so scared because some of the people are in prison because of conducting theft activities. I'm in pain. They should rather remain in prison and leave our streets free from crimes. How come they freed someone who was a murderer, someone who tortured people in Beni with their crimes? This move will not help Beni, but rather it shall contribute to more retardation.
In another move, the president of the DRC, who was attending a symposium of stakeholders of business and economy that was completed in Kigali, has said that the government intends to divide all militia groups in the east of Congo, including FDLR rebel group.
nous pourrons diversifier.
Regarding rebels in Congo, stern measures are being addressed because those groups are only fighting for their own benefits and not fighting for an ideology that will build DRC.
We must also have leaders.
We must also have leaders who are ready to cooperate and work together because, for example, my problems in Rwanda can one way or another affect developments in DRC and vice versa. We can't address that without cooperation.
We can't address that without cooperation.
A meeting that brings together councillors of the IGAD, representatives of the United Nations on Refugees, UNHCR, as well as councillors from the European Union is being held in Kampala, Uganda, the slogan being to debate techniques to enable refugees to help themselves economically without depending on aid.
Social and economic developments are inseparable. It is our responsibility to formulate projects that will provide employment opportunities for refugees.
Make sure that we settle them in.
It is our responsibility to settle them with dignity. We are planning to set pieces of lands for agriculture activities, building schools and hospitals.
It's a big week for China-EU relations, and what result could have far-reaching consequences for global trade and the balance of geopolitical power between the East and the West. For the latest on China's efforts to gain more access to overseas markets, we turn now to William Glucroft, our correspondent from Deutsche Welle in Berlin. Hello, William.
Hi.
So what more can you tell us about Chinese President Xi's meeting with key leaders of the EU?
Right. Well, President Xi Jinping of China came to Europe this week as a kind of public relations tour of several European countries, but it was also to get business done. After going to Italy, he went to France, where he signed as many as 15 business deals with Emmanuel Macron, the French president, including a $40 billion Airbus contract. That's as many as 300 commercial aircraft from Airbus, the French-led European aerospace company that competes with Boeing, the American company, going now to China. China's buying all of those airplanes. It's a huge, huge deal. But Macron wanted much more than just a bilateral business meeting, so he took a rather unprecedented step and invited German Chancellor German Chancellor Angela Merkel and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker to Paris to join these talks because the EU is very much interested in shaping or reshaping its position, its business position, its trade position with China. The EU has been criticized both inside Europe and the United States for being too soft and too naive when it comes to dealing with China and China's power all around the world. And that's what we're seeing now in how the European Union can deal with China, not only in terms of business and in terms of sheer money and in sheer goods and services going back and forth, but also on a number of other issues that the European Union would like to see dealt with.
So in what way does this connect to China's so-called Belt and Road Initiative, its long-term infrastructure as well as trade project?
Right, well, as you noted, it's quite a long-term and big-eyed, ambitious project of China, one of Xi Jinping's pet projects. Multi-year, as many as 150 countries are already involved, could cost up to $1 trillion. And for China, China's opinion is that this will better connect the world and make the flow of goods and services faster, more efficient, make global trade better. Critics of the Belt and Road project say it's just a way for China to insert its power and influence in countries all around the world, especially smaller countries that have less sway and less money, less economic power. But here we have, with Xi Jinping's visit to Europe, Italy, the first G7 country and a founding member of the European Union, signing up to the Belt and Road Initiative. It's the first country of that economic size to sign up to this initiative. China applauds this deal. It's a big victory for China. It allows China to have access to Italy's ports, which means direct access to European markets. Italy gets help with infrastructure, with jobs. Italy, of course, as you know, is struggling economically. And the EU is concerned, and the US is concerned, that this is going to give too much influence to China over Italy and over the rest of Europe. So that's how this Belt and Road Initiative is coming into play here, and it's why the EU is now releasing what it calls a 10-point plan for restructuring its policy, its strategy going forward with China, one that sees China not only as a partner but also as a competitor, and one where labor and environmental standards, climate change, peace and security and development also need to play a role when it comes to making business deals with China.
And on that note, what might be China as well as the EU's next move?
Well, all of these issues that I just mentioned are going to be on the agenda for an April 9th EU-China conference in Brussels. That's when the two sides are going to get together to discuss this more seriously and its future going forward more seriously. Also, this is a chance for EU member states to look at this 10-point plan that the European Commission, that's the European Union's executive arm, look at it more seriously, exactly what these 10 points are, to try to get all EU members on the same page when it comes to confronting and working with China, because the EU very much wants to speak in one voice. The EU finds itself in a rather peculiar position between the US and China, both the biggest trading partners for the European Union, but with increasingly divergent opinions about multilateralism and global trade. The current US administration sees multilateralism as a threat to its power. China views multilateralism as a source of its strength, and the EU is trying to figure out where it is in between going forward with these two major trading partners for its economic stability.
Thank you very much, William. We look forward to see how this whole situation plays out. And that special report ends our international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. Farmers of cassava in Kigoma region have begun to plant new types of seeds after the ones they've been using for many years constantly attacked by diseases leading to low yields.
This year's markets were not good. We sold a sack of 120 to 140 kilograms for 15,000. We are asking for the government to find markets for us. From these modern seeds, one plant can produce up to 15 cassava, while the local seed can produce 3 to 4 cassava. We believe that these modern seeds will finally boost farmers' finances because of good harvests. We think that when we create aggregation centers, the problem of markets will become history.
Over 300 extension officers from all councils in the country, researchers and major agricultural inputs importers have met in ARUSHA to discuss challenges that farmers face.
Honestly, farmers are investing very well in this sector, from financial resources to manpower, only to end up with poor harvests. It is high time now that scientists, researchers and farmers should have a dialogue and share challenges in Tanzanian farms. Extension officers should go direct to farmers so as to disseminate this knowledge. which we believe will improve harvests of many farmers and contribute to industrial economy. If pesticides will be provided for treating pests according to the required standards, then the problem of ineffective pesticides shall be combated, and providing education on uses of these pesticides.
That's all for business. Sports is next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hippie, the hip, hip, hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette.
With Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports, the Minister of Information, Arts, Culture and Sports, Dr. Harrison Mwakembe, has urged the 16 athletes going to represent the nation in the World Cross-Country competitions in Denmark to return with many medals so as to keep the current wave of wins ongoing in the sports sector.
Multi-choice.
We are grateful for MultiChoice Company for giving us big support because these talents must be developed. This team has been well prepared and ready for the games. As I gave you the national flag, it signifies that you shall represent Tanzania at their tournaments and do justice to this great honor. Preparing the team to this level, so many things have been involved, from administrative issues, financial and logistics were necessary. And there were Tanzanians that cooperated out of goodwill for this nation. We assure Tanzanians that they should trust us. We are capable of bringing medals back home. Our team is very good and the players are quite talented.
In the Netball Championships for East African countries ongoing in Zanzibar, Uganda has been seen as a threat as it continues to do well in the competition.
So far, foreign teams are leading. However, we are waiting for the matches that have left because we still believe that our team is the best and victory is ours this year. The situation here is good. The tournaments are going on well. All the teams have prepared themselves well, which makes the game sensational and interesting to watch. There are so many improvements. We are praying to God that we take the cup back home again this year.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to prepare this bulletin for you, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.
Kahama Bookshop Center, mtaa wa Lumerezi, Arusha. Kase Bookstore, mtaa wa Sekei. A Novel Idea, TFA Center, Arusha, Tanzania. Dodoma, Lugarawa Bookshop, Dodoma Mjini, Barabara ya 8. Moshi, Ape Bookshop, Moshi Mjini. Christian Bookshop, Moshi Mjini.
Wahi nakala yako sasa kwenye duka lolote lililopo karibu nawe.